All right, welcome back to the Elias Macko Show. In Transit today tackles Trudeau Airport. Now, here's the thing. Your appetite for air travel is insatiable. More and more of you want to get on a plane, go somewhere else in the world. That means the Trudeau Airport has been looking at expansion plans. They're going to invest billions. I think it's $10 billion. That's lots of billions. In an expansion project to build a fuel depot and a decarbonization plant along with those expansion plans. They plan to take back the land that's being leased for the Dorval Golf Course. And to make the airport better, their words, not mine. But let's take a look at these plans and if it's the right path forward for Trudeau Airport. It's our pleasure to welcome Clifford Lincoln onto the program, longtime Quebec Liberal MNA and federal Liberal MP, retired from politics in 2004, but he still has a thing or two to say about a lot of topics. Clifford, Mr. Lincoln, welcome back to the program.
Oh, hi.
So let me ask you, what are your main issues here that you think all of our listeners should be aware of when it comes to this expansion project for Trudeau Airport?
Well, I think when you start spending public monies, you're talking about a project of $10 billion. I think there should be ample consultation time. There should be a great amount of possibilities for the public to intervene, to give their opinions. The examples are rife with projects that have been bypassed for consultation. And you take the Nordvolt investment by Quebec, which all in all, Quebec put in about $500 million with a Castor Depot in the government, then gave a guarantee of $250 million and bypassed the environmental impact assessment. They fiddled the rules to avoid it. Mm-hmm. And what happened? The project was a failure and we lost all that money. You take the other project of the REM de l'Est, which was going to cost $10 billion. Thank goodness there was ample consultation, and in the end, they decided to go against it because there were all kinds of flaws, and they found that there were better alternatives. In this case, you give 30 days of to the public for written submissions for a project $10 billion. I think it's outrageous. And I find that ADM is a law unto itself. It goes along, it has this lease from the federal government, a long-term lease. I gave examples in my article to the Gazette of how the ADM just goes along and does whatever it wants. It decided to go into commercial development recently, and that backfired because the public was outraged. Then they managed to, without any notice, in the dark of night, they went and raised to the ground a large milkweed plant field, which is a protected area for the monarch butterfly. Why they did it, nobody knows. And then they wanted to start raising they gave us notice they were going to start cutting trees and take over the Gulf Dorval to build of all things a plant to decarbonize. So you cut trees and you obliterate nature to decarbonize. So it was almost an ironic joke. So I hope it won't go forward. So my point is, before you spend $10 billion, you'd better consult the public widely. There are all kinds of experts around who are prepared to look at all the facets of it, provide alternative solutions, criticize what is wrong with a potential project. And I find ADM, unfortunately, is a law unto itself. We've had a huge consensus in Montreal to preserve the natural spaces north of the airport. We've got the Montreal city on board, both the parties in Montreal, opposition and the party in power. We have got the Greater Montreal agglomeration institutions on board. We've got something like 24 municipalities representing $1.5 million people who want the protection of this land, and the only adversary we have is ADM.
Now, Mr. Lincoln, we're with Clifford Lincoln, and we're talking about the Trudeau Airport and its expansion plans. Now, I guess what I need to ask you, and you bring up Aéroport de Montréal, the ADM here. You know, I bet you one of the things that they would say is like, listen, we need to expand. The people want to fly more. We're at capacity. We're going to be at capacity in a few years when we increase, more trips. So what are the alternatives that you would propose here? Because it seems for ADM, they feel they have to expand on the Trudeau site.
No, I agree 100% with that the need to expand. I have nothing against that. I'm not an airport expert. All I'm saying is that, we created Mirabel. We spent a huge amount of money. At the time, had we had better consultations, we would have extended Highway 13. We would have provided for a fast rail access, and there would have been an airport of the future in Mirabel. All this money, this huge infrastructure was wasted because we went too fast. We didn't consult enough. I don't say that expansion of the Montreal airport is not necessary, but how it's done, and are there alternative solutions? When you spend $10 billion, maybe there are some experts that say maybe we should revive access to Mirabel and rejuvenate Mirabel. I don't know what the answer is, but surely all these various alternative solutions and different ways of doing it should be part of the discussion. How can you expect in 30 days for people to give proper advice and opposition to a project?
If Mr. Lincoln, if the ADM is trying to pull a fast one here, who needs to step in to stop it?
Well, this is really the question I'm asking. I think the public should be what stopped ADM in the case of commercial development, and there was a huge public protest by the environmental groups, by civil society, by municipalities, and eventually the project didn't take place. And so I think ADM needs to know that the public wants answers. When we spend $10 billion of public monies, I think the public should be consulted. There should be ways to have an open discussion that lasts a long time. When we built the REM, we invested $6.2 billion at the time. The consultation lasted 2 years, and it's a good thing. Maybe I don't say it should last 2 years, but certainly the public should have a say. Experts should have a say to propose alternative solutions if there are some.
It certainly does seem like 30 days for a $10 billion project seems like a very tight time frame. Mr. Lincoln, I want to thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with our listeners. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
That's a Clifford Lincoln right there. Longtime Quebec Liberal MNA and a former federal Liberal MP, retired from politics in 2004. Ladies and gentlemen, he still has it. He's 96 years old. And I have it on the text line here. Someone sending me a note. He's turning 97 on September 1st. So happy early birthday to Clifford Lincoln.